From WNYT, Albany, this is News Channel 13, live at 11.
Tonight's top story, police stake out an apartment building on Herkimer Street. Inside, a man suspected of trying to shoot an Albany police officer.
This is News Channel 13, live at 11.
Good evening, I'm Kelly Lynch. The man is in custody tonight after he fired several shots at a police officer, then ran into a building, leading to a standoff with police. The officer he fired at, the brother of Officer Stan Nadorsky, who was shot over a year ago by Tracy Grady. Karen Moe is live in front of where it all happened. Karen.
Kelly, around 5:30 this afternoon, Albany police got a call that a black male with a red bandana had a handgun in his possession on Trinity Place. When officers arrived on the scene, the man, still holding a handgun, fled from them on a bike down Herkimer just off of Green Street. Police say Patrol Sergeant Thomas Nadorsky then saw the individual get off his bike and run to the back of some apartments to either discard the handgun or to try to get into an apartment.
He then doubled back, confronted Sergeant Nadorsky, fired several shots. Sergeant Nadorsky was able to return fire. The individual then ran around the corner of the building onto Madison Avenue. Sergeant Nadorsky continued in a foot chase, came around the corner. The individual again fired a shot at Sergeant Nadorsky.
Even though many bullets were fired, no one got shot. The man ran inside an occupied apartment building at 98 Madison Avenue. Police surrounded the place and told the man to come out. After almost 2 hours, officers were able to negotiate with him, and he did what they asked. There was one other person who came out of the building, a woman in a green dress. She was not harmed. After both individuals exited, the emergency services team entered the building to make sure no one else was inside. Police have just released the name of the man. He is 22-year-old Maurice Johnson. Charges of first-degree attempted murder and criminal possession of a weapon are pending. Police say Johnson is homeless, but ran into this building because he's friends with the woman in the green dress. Kelly, back to you.
Thank you, Karen Moe, live in Albany tonight. Also in Albany, an overnight shooting on Judson Street sent 2 men to the hospital. 22-year-old Antonio Rodriguez was shot 5 times at point-blank range, and 20-year-old John Torres was shot once in the foot. The 2 men who shot them took off, and police are still looking for them. Torres' wife didn't want to be identified, but says she isn't sure why her husband was a target.
I hope they find who did it, and I hope that Pesci Antonio is okay. He has a family, so I hope he's all right. I hope he can pull through it. And hopefully John will stay out the streets, because these streets are crazy, and the people in it are even crazier.
Torres was treated and released from Albany Med. Rodriguez is still in critical condition. Police say robbery may have been the motive for the shooting. 1 person is dead and 4 others are hospitalized after 2 vehicles collided last night in Saratoga County. The Sheriff's Department says 3 teenagers were headed north on Stony Creek Road in Hadley when their vehicle crossed the yellow line and hit another vehicle. 16-year-old Nicole Jones was killed. The driver, 17-year-old Robert Taylor, and another passenger, 19-year-old Jason Carson, were airlifted to Albany Medical Center, where Taylor is in critical condition and Carson is in fair condition. Robert and Rebecca Hitchcock were in the other car. Both are in fair condition. The accident is still under investigation. Expect tougher background checks if you try to buy a gun in Vermont. We'll explain. But first, though, let's check in with Lee for a first look at the forecast. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Kelly. Good evening, everyone. A beautiful day today. Plenty of sunshine. High temperatures up to 80 degrees, but the second half of the weekend not looking as nice. Looks like we'll wake up to showers and some gray clouds out there. Temperatures in the 60s. Not out of the question we could see a few breaks of sunshine as temperatures make their way into the mid to upper 70s tomorrow. And then in the afternoon, again, we may see a few spotty showers, maybe even a thunderstorm. It's not going to be a washout, but you'll certainly want the umbrella for it tomorrow as hit or miss showers are in the forecast. We'll give you the full first warning forecast coming up in a few moments. Kelly.
Thank you, Lee. The leader of a South Troy Community Center is in custody tonight facing drug charges. Truman Frierson runs the Boys and Girls Club. Last night, he was pulled over for running a stop sign. And police say Frierson had marijuana and cocaine in the car, which he tried to throw out the window. He's now at the Rensselaer County Jail charged with possession of a controlled substance. There are fewer gun owners in Vermont this year, but that's not because buyers didn't try. According to a local police department, more than 19,000 people tried to buy guns last year. 287 were turned down. Their applications were rejected because a background check revealed they had criminal histories. Nationwide, the number of people who tried to buy guns dropped 11% between 1999 and 2000. A 4-year-old boy is dead after he fell 6 stories into a hotel lobby in Arkansas. The boy had wandered out of his family's hotel room into the hallway. He was leaning over the railing when he fell more than 60 feet into a pond. Police have called it a freak accident and say no charges will be filed. In Syracuse, hundreds of people turned out for the funeral of 2 children stabbed by their father. Police say Quang Tran stabbed his sons, 5-year-old Randy and 6-year-old Danny, then slashed the throat of his 3rd son, 7-year-old Andy. Andy survived but is still in serious condition. Quang also lunged at police with the same knife before he was shot and killed. The 2 boys and their father will be buried next to each other in the same plot. South Carolina residents are still cleaning up after yesterday's tornado in Myrtle Beach. The damage is estimated at $8 million. The winds damaged roofs, blew out car windows, and even flipped over RVs. Thousands of homes and businesses were left without power. No one was killed, but some were injured by flying glass. And construction along part of Route 85 is still closed this weekend, so you might want to make other travel plans. The State Department of Transportation says the affected area is from Crumbkill Road to Blessing Road. The road is closed in order to change over to the new bridge alignment and remove some existing pavement. All traffic will be detoured to New Scotland Avenue. It'll cost you more to make a phone call in some states. We'll tell you where coming up at 11:10. Another round of questions. Investigators speak once again with California Congressman Gary Condit about his relationship with a missing intern. Those stories and more when News Channel 13 continues.
Live, local, late breaking. With Kelly Lynch, meteorologist Lee Copson, and Lars Lifrak on sports. This is News Channel 13, live at 11. News Channel 13 is sponsored in part by Carvel. Surprise someone special tonight. More details about some of our stories can be found online at WNYT.com with MSNBC and NBCI.com.
Welcome back. An 8-year-old boy is in critical condition tonight after a shark attack in Florida. The boy was playing in the surf with relatives near Pensacola when the shark attacked. The boy's uncle wrestled the 6-foot shark and dragged it to shore where it was shot by a ranger. The boy's arm was found inside the shark's mouth.
It was very surreal. It's something like out of a horror movie. You just don't believe what you're seeing, that's actually happening.
Doctors worked through the night to reattach the boy's arm. Experts say this is the time of year when larger sharks come in close to hunt for fish along the Gulf Coast. Another high-profile figure has been sentenced to jail time for protesting bombing exercises in Puerto Rico. Robert Kennedy Jr. was among nearly 200 people recently arrested during a protest of U.S. bombing exercises in Vieques. He was sentenced to 30 days behind bars. Several others, including Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson's wife Jacqueline, have also served jail time for the same protest. Kennedy says he is prepared to go to jail, even though his wife is due to give birth to their 6th child sometime next week. He's being represented by attorney and former New York Governor Mario Cuomo. California Congressman Gary Condit has now been interviewed by police a 3rd time in connection with the disappearance of intern Chandra Levy. While Condit maintains the 2 were just good friends, Levy's family says the 2 were involved intimately. Brooke Hart has the very latest now from Washington.
Already interviewed twice by investigators, Washington, D.C. police confirmed they questioned California Congressman Gary Condit a 3rd time last night in the 9-week-old investigation into the disappearance of 24-year-old intern Chandra Levy. Police also say they'll ask to subpoena Condit's phone records to see when and how often he spoke with the woman he's called a good friend before she was last seen April 30th.
I have a statement here if anybody wants it.
Chandra's aunt, Linda Zamsky, says the Levy family is outraged at Condit's characterization of the relationship. Zamsky says Chandra told her the 2 were intimately involved and says Condit's lack of candor is hindering the search. Police say an interview of Condit's wife, who was in Washington from California around the time of Chandra's disappearance, didn't reveal anything instructive, and a search of the Washington area, including landfills and car rental records, has turned up nothing. Brooke Hart, NBC News, Washington.
It'll soon cost you more to make a call from a payphone. 13 states are expected to raise the cost of local calls to 50 cents. The increase will go into effect in September. Industry representatives say they needed to raise prices because fewer people are using payphones. Instead, they're using cell phones or prepaid calling cards. The new price doesn't affect New York, Vermont, or Massachusetts just yet, but other phone companies are expected to follow suit. In Spain, it's the annual running of the bulls, and so far at least 6 people have been gored by the animals. It's an annual event where runners test their speed and luck against the raging bulls running through the streets. 13 people have been killed over the past century, and several hundred have been gored. An American was killed 6 years ago, but despite the risks, the event continues to draw thousands of visitors each year. Still to come, tonight's winning lottery numbers, and up next, the first warning forecast. Stay with us. It was fun in the sun for these folks and their dogs visiting Albany's Washington Park. Today's warm temperatures made for a perfect day to get out and enjoy the sunshine. And if you didn't get out there today, I guess you're out of luck for tomorrow.
Yeah, you're not totally out of luck because it's not going to be a washout, but it's not going to be sunny and as warm as it was today. So the weather is going downhill for the second half of the weekend. But a very nice day today, 80 degrees for the high temperature after a chilly start, 49 this morning. Compare that to the averages of 84 and 59. The record high 97 set in 1988. The record low 44 in 1979. So we were just 5 degrees above the record low this morning. So a very cool start. Right now, lots of clouds around, mostly cloudy skies. 71 degrees at the airport. South winds at 6 miles per hour. The dew point has come up a bit, up to 57. It will continue to rise as some moisture is moving into the area. And pressure here at 29.94 continues to fall. That's because our weather is continuing to go downhill. Temperatures across the Northeast generally in the 60s. Still some warmer spots right here, 71, Newburgh 70, New York City 74. But you see most other locations reporting temperatures in the 60s. Here's the Doppler radar loop. And we were with you at 6. We were watching this blob of showers out to the west. I told you they'd probably clip the Catskills, and that's exactly what they did. But look off to the west. There's more shower activity heading into the area. That'll be here into the immediate Albany area in about an hour and a half or so, but you can see it's right on the doorstep of the western part of our viewing area right now. And a wider radar picture of the northeast shows that there's more to come out through the lakes, but notice it's spotty and none of it's real super heavy, so we don't have heavy rain in the forecast. Quick check at Pinpoint Doppler, and we'll show you over in Bennington County. We've had some showers develop as well. Manchester, Arlington down to Shaftesbury, getting a little wet with some light to moderate rain, but pulling quickly off to the east, pulling over into Windham County. Head back to the weather maps and check on the big picture. Still very hot in the midsection of the country. 109, the nation's high at McCook, Nebraska. Pretty cool this morning across the entire Northeast. 37, the nation's low at Berlin, New Hampshire. There's those showers moving in with the clouds. That'll keep temperatures up across the area overnight tonight. A few thunderstorms in the high plains as warm air rides all the way up into Canada, and some showers going on in the Intermountain West. Here's our forecast as we watch this trough of low pressure approaching from the lakes for tomorrow. We'll see some showers, maybe even just a few thunderstorms. Some of the thunderstorms could produce some heavy rain, but I don't expect any severe weather. And for Monday, I return to partly sunny skies and warmer weather heading in. I'll let you know about the rest of the forecast right after this break. My first warning forecast overnight, look for those scattered showers to be moving in, 60 to 65 for overnight lows. And for tomorrow, kind of a gray day, mostly cloudy, but a few breaks of sunshine, especially in the afternoon. Scattered showers. Don't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder. Mid-70s for your high temperatures. Tomorrow night, showers will come to an end. Slow clearing, may even be a few areas of fog as well, 60 to 65. Partly sunny and warmer for Monday. Temperatures will top out in the middle 80s. That looks like a beautiful day. And then on Tuesday, we'll be back in the 80s, but we do have a front approaching. That'll bring scattered showers and storms into the area on Tuesday. And behind that front, we'll see cooler weather once again. Look for partly cloudy skies on both Wednesday and Thursday with temperatures remaining in the 70s. So a few warm days and then a few cool days. I like those days in the 70s, though, to be honest with you. Nice day to hit the golf course or something.
Sure. You can get the time off, take it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Lee. Well, I guess if it's not the NBA or the XFL, it's NASCAR putting us on this late.
Yeah, but this was an amazing event today, and it's something we'll definitely be talking about a lot in the future. Sports fans will remember this one. We'll show you the results of the amazing Winston Cup race we showed you today on Channel 13, plus baseball, tennis, and golf, and we'll tell you which Yankees has decided not to play in the All-Star game. Welcome back. It's baseball to start. Some news out of the Bronx. Yankees pitcher Mariano Rivera has pulled out of the All-Star game with a sore ankle. He'll be replaced by Seattle's Jeff Nelson. The Yankees hosting the Mets this afternoon. Mets starter Kevin Appier, outstanding. Strikes out Scott Brocious early on, one of many for Appier. Yanks starter Mike Mussina, also terrific. Strikes out Mark Johnson right there. Mussina with 10 Ks in 7 innings, but Appier had a no-hitter going in the 6th until Shane Spencer breaks it up with that single there. Still Appier, 8 innings of shutout ball, and the game was still scoreless in the 10th inning when the Mets stage a 2-out rally against Rivera here. 2 on, Mike Piazza singles in Desi Relaford. It's 1-0. Then it's Timo Perez. Edgardo Alfonso comes in, 2-0, and then finally Todd Zeile knocks in Piazza with the single up the middle. The Mets win it 3-0. Rivera gets the loss.
Mariano Rivera will not be going to the All-Star game, and had nothing to do with today's game. We were considering this 2 days ago, actually.
The Red Sox hosting Atlanta, and look at this, Nomar Garciaparra on the mend, taking more batting practice today. No return date set, though. Pitcher Hideo Nomo looking good again for the Sox, strikes out Brian Jordan. Nomo gives up just 1 run in 6 innings. I have no idea what that sign says. The Sox scrape together 3 runs in the 5th. Mike Lansing knocks in 1 with the single here. Chris Stein scores. Red Sox win it 3-1. That's win number 400 for Jimmy Williams as a manager in Boston. The Sox are half game behind the Yanks. What a game between Cleveland and the Cards in Cleveland. Things all tied up in the 10th inning. Jim Thome ends the game with a walk-off solo home run, his 4th home run in 2 games. The final score of that one was 7-6, as we said, in 10 innings. Other scores, and Los Angeles gets by Seattle. Tampa Bay beats Florida. Chicago wins again at Detroit 10-6. Toronto in extra innings over Montreal. Baltimore won better than Philadelphia. Chicago White Sox knock off Pittsburgh. Minnesota gets by Cincinnati. Houston leads Kansas City right now in the 8th inning. Anaheim all over Colorado also in the 8th and 1 National League game. No home runs for Barry Bonds. Milwaukee beats San Francisco 13-3. In local action, the Lumberjacks and Diamond Dogs going at it again. Albany Colony in a dogfight, excuse the pun there, with Quebec in the Northern Division. So they need wins. No score in the 3rd. Adirondacks Vernon Spearman changes that. The single scores Ray Flores. It's 1-0 then. The 4th, Bob Spangler singles in Rodney Clifton. It's 3-0. And finally in the 8th, former Jacks manager Darryl Motley doing a little hitting, an infield hit, knocks in Tony James. And Adirondack actually wins the game 5-0. But good news for the Diamond Dogs as we look at the scoreboard. Quebec also losing. They lose at Allentown 7-1 the final. New York Penn League, Pittsfield losing at home today to Brooklyn 5-4 in 10 innings. To NASCAR next, and the Winston Cup circuit making its debut right here on NBC with the Pepsi 400 from Daytona. This is the first race at the Daytona Motor Speedway since the death of Dale Earnhardt in the Daytona 500 earlier this year. Tributes to Dale Earnhardt were everywhere tonight. As for the race, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the strongest car all day, but with 20 laps left, we've got ourselves some big trouble. Look at Mike Skinner, the number 31 car. He's the one that goes by sideways. And we've got Bedlam out on the track. 7 cars involved in all. And one of them, though, was not Dale Earnhardt Jr. Late in the race, goes from 6th to 1st in about a lap and a half. Unbelievable. The crowd loves it. And he ends up taking the checkered flag for a very emotional victory. Unbelievable. Now to tennis, rain washing away the women's final at Wimbledon today. It'll be made up tomorrow morning starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The men's semifinal match between Goran Ivanisevic and Britt Tim Henman was started but not completed. Ivanisevic and Henman will have to finish off their 5th set tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Ivanisevic forcing in the 5th set by making shots like the one here from his knees with the winner. Not bad. The men's final will be played now on Monday. PGA Tour in the Chicago area for the Western Open. Tiger Woods having some trying times, but this right here is good. It's an eagle on 15. He is 7 shots under par. Here's your leader, Davis Love III. After his 3rd straight round in the 60s, Love is 14 shots under par, 1 in front of Scott Hope. LPGA Tour. There's in the Toledo area for the Jamie Farr Classic. Scotia's Laura Diaz. A nice birdie putt on 11. She's 6 off the lead. 6 shots behind this lady, Sayri Pak. She birdies 18 to get to 12 under par, and that's where she stands heading into tomorrow. Local golf fans watching the Futures Tour, 2nd round of the Futures Tour in the books at Western Turnpike. 1st round leader Angela Buzminski is still in first place. Clifton Park's Betsy Drambor is 18 shots over par after 2 rounds. And to bike racing, the Tour de France getting underway today. The 5-mile time trial. American Lance Armstrong, the 2-time defending champion, in 3rd place, 4 seconds behind leader Christophe Méraud. Threw in the French accent for no charge there. He's from France. He's your leader. And Big Board Radio Sports, always want to remind you, Roger Weiland, every weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. on 980 a.m. That's it for sports.
Also nice to see a high school football legend on national TV today.
Well, it was on regional TV. Brent Stewart-Wald and the New York All-Star team that won Thursday night played today on TV.
Good for them.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Lars. We'll be back with the last look at the forecast, but first, tonight's winning lottery numbers. And finally tonight, if you've ever wondered what $1 million looks like, there is an exhibit in Chicago where you can see. You can find it at the new Visitor Center at the Chicago Federal Reserve. The 4-foot cube of cash weighs more than a ton, but these dollars have seen their day. The $1 million $1 bills inside are no longer in circulation. Stacked one on top of another, the dollar bills would be taller than the building they're housed in. So if you break the cube, you can't use the dollar bills?
I'd like to put them back into circulation.
Sure.
Huh? Nice little chunk of dollar bills there. For tomorrow, the weather going downhill. Not as nice as our Saturday. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers, even a chance of a few rumbles of thunder out there for tomorrow. 74 to 79 for your high temperatures. Beautiful day coming up for Monday. Partly sunny skies and warmer temperatures into the mid-80s. Mid-80s again on Tuesday. A front approaching will bring some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon. That'll cool things off. Partly cloudy skies Wednesday and Thursday with temperatures on the cool side again for July, back down into the 70s. And if you can't catch the news, you can catch the weather at WNYT.com. Just click on weather or the weather phone at 436-0712.
Okay. Thank you, Lee.
You're welcome.
That'll do it for us. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Good night.